Good morning, Australia. Today we'll cover the ASX. I want to have a look at Rio, BHP and CBA. That should sort of cover it. And just on the weekly chart here. Now, if we're going to be following the US markets, which we appear to be doing, then we would be looking at this situation here where we'd be moving pretty close up to the old high here, and then having an ABC pattern coming back and finding support here somewhere, and then looking for wave 3 to the upside. So this wave 2 and the wave 3 here becomes pretty exciting, I'd have to say. So anyway, let's go in and pick this trend up here on the daily chart. So from this low down here, we're looking at 1 and 2 here, and 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then we're looking for 5 waves up through here. So those 5 waves to the upside here. Wave 1's extended out quite nicely here, I have to say. I wasn't expecting it to go that high that quickly, so that caught me out a little bit, but at least we're on the long side, at least we made some money. We got our piece of the pie, so to speak. So, wave 1, wave 2 pullback, which we'll be checking out. So wave 3 here needs to be longer, or at least the same size as wave 1 here. It could be smaller, but then wave 5's got to be smaller still at this point. So, and see how we go with that. But at least we can look at, well, probably not the right. It's not really the right way to do it. We could just simply. There's lots of different ways to do it, but we can look at least up to this point here. Now, because we've got 5 waves here, shock horror and all the rest of it, we can put wave 5 sitting in here as well. I just got to point that out. So I don't think it's the case, but because we've got wave 3 and ABC here for wave 4, and we can count 5 waves up here, then we could call that wave 5 there. Like I said, I don't think it's the case, so I'm just going to even dull it out further at this point. But, you know, I mean, we've got to look at everything, you know. So that's that. Let's go to the wave 4-hour chart to pick this up. That's not going to tell us, well, it'll tell us technically the retracement level can come back. Because it's a wave 2, we should be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave A, 3 waves for wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 2, and then up from that point. Now, of course, we just need to track everything. The other point that we need to consider as well, I mean, when I look at this here, it looks like this is the 3rd wave here rather than the 5th wave, so to speak, you know. So what we should do here as well is we just should be, we're at 6,500, which is the medium level. So we should just be a little bit mindful that it kind of went above there a little bit in a bit of a really overshoot pattern. So we just need to be mindful, once we get that sort of second high in here, as such, just here, then if that's breached, we need to be long at that point, and we can forget about all of this, okay, just in case we don't move with the US markets and so on. So yeah, we'll take a closer look at this and this here, of course, and we'll need to look at this. So I'll just go to the 1-hour chart to count that to the upside. So not a lot of change in the trend, except that quick pop to the upside here in terms, because we'd always been counting this as wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and we can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 3, 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the 3rd wave. 4th wave is really small, but that coincides with news or whatever it was that pushed this to the upside here, and it's hit the medium level here at 6,500, unusual number, but You can look at that in any regard. $6.50 in stocks. You wouldn't think it's very strong, but it definitely carries a lot of weight. So if everything goes according to plan from this point, we should just come down an A and a B and a C wave down into somewhere down into this space here. We'll keep an eye on the S&P 500 because that will also dictate it as well. But certainly if you're long, this is where to take any profits from here. Yeah, we're under the level here at the moment, aren't we? But if this became the support, or even if this was breached here, that would create a long trade at that point. Now, it may not go very far. Let's just assume for a moment that that top gets taken out because the banks and stocks push up through here. It may just push up here and then fold down again, okay? So you'll need to keep a close eye on, don't trade this and think that it's going to go on forever, you know, or if you're in this at the moment, well, if you're going to work the trade, then you would be out at the moment and then you get back in over this side if that's taken out at that particular point. But the S&P is appearing to make a correction. If I can just bring that up for a moment. Let me find it. I've got a couple of different charts. I just got to find the right one. Okay, so that's all moving off here. When I did the S&P video this morning, we put that in as wave 2, but it hadn't reached the 61.8%. So it's got 5 waves here, so we can look at another 5 waves here. So in a way, we're looking at 1, 2, 3. I don't know where my 4's gone, but we can use this one here for that. And then down for 5 in that regard there. So we could look at this little first move here as wave 1 and 2 here. So we'll see a strong 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave. So this also means too, you know, that when stocks open today in the ASX, they're going to open high and then they're going to drop. Okay. So I don't need that at the moment. I want to have a look at... First of all, I want to look at BHP because we looked at BHP yesterday. So one of the things here is that I won't go into a long story because we went over it yesterday, but in a nutshell, we're looking up here for wave 1 because we've got 5 waves up here. You can see yesterday's video for all of that, but looking at this here as possibly the A wave here, this B wave can also possibly go on top of that little move here. That will leave that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and coming down for 5. But even coming down for 5 here, we're still 1 wave short because this would be 1 and 2 in here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. But as I mentioned yesterday, that if this low here gets breached, then it's got overlapping wave structures and then we'll need to be on the long side for that. So we're looking at going long there. You may already be long, but in that case, we can bring that down to just 1 point above that top there. And let me just clear this up here. So sometimes they just don't finish off the way that you would like them. So we can move that stop over here, just keep it at, look, it just depends on how, you know, how close you want to get to all of this here, and this could get a bit more messy as well. Like I said, you could get trapped. It can just open high here and then trade down for the day. So we just really need to be careful. So let's just make this half a trade here, if that's going to be the case, because of that wave 2 situation, you know. So you can accommodate that at that point. So we just clear this up, clean that. Oh look, we're going to do that anyway. See this green line through here? The idea was to just take half a position on that, so I'll just leave it at that. Rio's pretty much the same as well. Oops, daisy, I'll just get rid of this. So when I look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, and then the A, the B, and the C wave here, I mean, it's come back to the 50% retracement level. I feel like this is big enough in relationship to this. So we should start seeing this push to the upside and taking these tops out here in all of this. So we can look to go long here. I'll just check on the iron ore here. So we're calling the low in here for the iron ore, but I have to say it doesn't count very well. It counts down here as 3 waves here. So yeah, I'm very sort of reluctant to confirm this in a way. But still, it's moving up with the Australian dollar. But even the Australian dollar doesn't look that great as well. So when I have a look at the Australian dollar, just by the by here, you know, we've got this low in here for the Australian dollar here. We could count this down in a particular way, but it doesn't count very nicely as an ABC. So it does count nicely as an A wave here, a B wave here, and then 5 waves up for the C wave here, and then have 5 waves down here as well for this. So this is what we've got to be careful of, and that would be in line with the US markets too. You know, the S&P and this market has a relationship. So if you're trading this market, that will be 5 waves up there. I mean, I'm just assuming that. I can see that just basically done there. It'll hit supply where all these open and closes are through here. So I can see this, the bids are being hit there from supply sellers. So it's likely that this could occur here. So just be very careful. We're still dancing across the 72 here, which to me is an important level. There's lots of reasons for that. Half of 102 sevens of 14, half of 144, which is Gann square, and also where Fibonacci meet as well. So that's really where Gann and Elliott meet on that 144 number, and this is half of that. So it would carry a bit of weight in that. So yeah, anyway, sorry, enough waffling, just drifting off. I just want to have a look at CBA as well. So with CBA here, we're sitting on that 70, which I thought was just fantastic. Yeah, I still want to see that high taken, but we're in a really good position. So this should jump up now. I've got a small, well, not a CFD trade, but a position with in this of 10k. So on the daily chart, I was just sort of assuming it would push up with the markets, you know. So we'll see how this is what we were considering here, but it doesn't have to pull back just yet. The 72 here is also the resistance here, the next resistance past the 70 here. But all this, I mean, it's a little bit tricky to count all of this here, but this looks all corrective to me here, this point here, and it's pulled back and it's tested demand. So we could even look at this as wave 1 to the upside, back for wave 2 here, and then further to the upside here. So I think we're going in the right place for this here. So we'll end up at 72. We'll just see what the reaction is like at that point, and we've got to understand if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, not worrying about the spike too much, and then up for 5 here on the jump, and then having the ABC pattern, you know. I've probably dramatized this wave 2 here a bit, but it'll be something like that. We can rule out this now. I've just opened, I think I was probably one of the last, I opened up an international ComSec account with through CommBank. Mine went through, but I opened one for my mother as well. And I don't think that's going to be opened, unfortunately. They're just not taking any more international, they've been inundated with account openings, and they're not taking any more international accounts for a while, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So look, anyway, I've got a tenner in here somewhere, and we'll just let that float there for a while. Yeah, and I think could be part of a larger triangle. That's why I've got D wave sitting there, but we don't need to worry about that at the moment. We just want to see how we float with this. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.